Chapter 6 in the How to Sell Homes for Top Dollar. We're talking about upgrading with ROI in mind. So I'm going to make a couple of quick comments here before you jump in to start reading and then ask your questions. But when we're talking about ROI, the return on investments, we're talking about the money that you're going to spend to fix up your house, make improvements, so that way your potential buyers will feel more confident and comfortable and like the house better, because nobody wants to buy an ugly old house except for investors who want to pay you a lot less than it's worth so they can fix it up and make a nice chunk of change, a return on their investment. So obviously you don't want to go to an extreme and spend more money than you're going to get back on the sale of the property, but there are simple things that you can do that will increase the perceived value of the home when you go to sell it, and that's what we're talking about here. So obviously, as you begin going through your home and thinking about what kind of things you can and should improve, obviously you have to improve all those structural issues and safety and security issues that a home inspector is going to flag anyways. Once you get your home under contract, the buyer will probably pay an inspector to come in, unless they waive that contingency just to try to have a stronger offer. But if they do require an inspection and those things get flagged, they will need to be resolved. So it's better you just go ahead and take care of those issues, especially if you already know about them. If you know your roof has some active leaks, if you know that there's some issues with the electrical system, you just want to go ahead and get those taken care of anyways, especially if your buyer is financing. They're getting a loan to buy the property. The bank will make sure that gets an inspection, that their investment, because they're going to be using the home as a collateral, so they want to make sure that everything's up to par. So it's better if you just go ahead and do an inspection yourself, have somebody come in, professional, a home inspection company, take a look, see what needs to be resolved, and knock that out right away. You can actually use that to show buyers, say, hey, look, these were the issues that were here. We already resolved them. Everything's good. They may even want to go ahead and pay their own inspector just to double check. But that way you know that all the important issues have been taken care of. Then, of course, in the second place, there are those issues that aren't necessary but do improve the look of the house. So here's the thing. When we're talking about return on investment, let's say that your home is worth $275,000. That is your asking price. And you go all out and spend $40,000 to make improvements, and your realtor or the buyer's realtor is looking at comparable prices of other homes in the market, and they can't sell your home for what, $275 plus $40,000 is $315,000, I believe, if my math is correct. Need my handy dandy calculator. Where's Siri? Hey Siri. So anyways, you get the idea. So even if you spend a lot of money fixing it up, you may not get all that money back in the sale of the home. So you want to think about the things that you can improve, that you can invest a little bit in to get a higher return on the sale of the property, but not go overboard. And that's what we're going to talk about here in this chapter. Skim through it, a couple of interesting spots. There are lists. These are the mechanical maintenances that are a must, things you can do to check those. Obviously, replacing appliances, which are important, that need to be dealt with, because those are typically things that buyers want, and they actually have said in surveys that they would have paid up to $2,000 more for having those items in there. So obviously you want to make sure the hardware is updated, things in the bathroom, that the lighting's good, update, those little things that just make the house look nicer. Tips for fixing up your kitchen and bathroom, making sure that everything is what buyers want. And then, of course, at the end, we have a list here of the most important things that buyers want. So you can refer to those as you go through and think about what you can improve in your house. And of course, if you're working with a realtor, they can walk through the place with you, make suggestions, help you figure out what you need to do to improve your home. There is the story right here where this gentleman spent $4,000 fixing up his home. He made a few changes. He added some backsplash, some more cabinet space in the kitchen, updated the appliances, refinished the oak flooring. Spent about $4,000. He kept the price comparable to the sales of other homes in the area so that people were interested and came and looked. And when they saw how nice it was inside, that began a bidding war with multiple offers coming in, buyers bidding each other up, and he ended up selling for $27,000 more than the asking price. So that $4,000 he spent ended up netting him an extra $27,000. Well, netted him $23,000 right after he spent the $4,000. So a nice chunk of change that came in because of those updates that made the home more appealing to the buyers. So as you think about the things that you can improve in your home, and you think about the things that you can do yourself, if you are handy and you know how to do those things, I'm not, so I wouldn't attempt to do that. Of course, there are YouTube videos and you can learn how to do just about anything, or you can actually consider hiring professionals to come in and do that for you. So just some things to take in consideration. Now, one last point before I let you dive in to read here. There are, in my area, 3 different companies that will actually come in. They'll go through your home. They'll show you what things you can improve that will increase your ROI. And then they will make those updates for you, fix everything up, and they won't cost you anything out of pocket to get started. You won't spend any money on the materials, the labors. You'll only they'll get paid at the end, at closing, when the home sells. The funds will come out of that. So you don't actually have to come up with money out of pocket to pay for those renovations and updates. So there are several options. Check in your market. Check around where you live to see what options are available. Something that you can discuss with your real estate agent as well. So go ahead, read the chapter, ask your questions, and I will see you in the next section.